Computer. Yeah, it's recording. All right then, people. It's great to see you all back again. Love it. Thank you very much for joining the Zoom. Of course, more people probably join while I'm talking. Let's start off with the first thing here. This is the gold scalping slash day trading signal group, and this is the performance from this month. I think we only started about from midway through the second week of this month. So we didn't do anything too crazy, but we have a total pips gain of 253 and average pips of 16 pips. Our win rate at the moment is 60%, 9 wins and a total of 15 losers, 9 wins and a total of 15 trades. So there was 6 losers. There technically wasn't 6 losers. There would have been 4 losers, I believe so. No, sorry. I'm even trying to see why it says 6 losers here. Shouldn't really say 6 because there was only 4. There was only 4 positions that lost. So the positions that lost, realistically, with these two here, where we lost this amount of pips, it was this trade here, which was 2 gold sells. It was on the Friday before Easter, the Easter weekend. So I take it probably because of the Easter weekend. That's why these trades lost. But these 2 trades here, the market actually decided to continue to go after that. So I actually closed the trades pretty much at break even. It wasn't actually the fact that it hit stop loss. And the signals, they come out just like this. So just so people can see, it will tell you for an entry, a stop loss, and a take profit, and obviously the risk to reward. And I'm just even showing people that you could have about $200 on your account and you can still trade this just to show people you don't need that much for you to be able to make the profits on what you're looking for. It definitely will pay for your access into this service. It's only 25 GBP for lifetime access to get these signals. But if you want to get trade copying as well, which I'll add you to a trade copier, when I take these trades, you get these trades as well placed in your account. That is 20 GBP a month for that. So your first initial sign up will be 45 GBP if you want trade copying as well. And then every month after that, you'll pay 20 GBP for your trade copying slot. So again, this is how the signals come out. I just wanted to go to the one that didn't actually lose here quickly. It was this trade, I believe. Okay, yeah, boom. So this is the trades you can see that obviously it told us to buy trades. And you can see these are the trades when I closed them. The buy signal came in here. Boom, you can see gold buy, just so anyone can go back and check this themselves just to see that I'm not lying. And obviously, I closed the trades early because, usually these trades are done within about an hour, maybe 2 hours max. It could push to 4 hours, but usually they're very quick, these trades. They don't take too long. So the fact that we was in this trade for 10 hours, it gave me the idea to say, you know what, let me close around break even. Obviously, that was unfortunately a mistake this time because as soon as I closed it at break even, this trade went on to do this and it went on to do a lot more after that. It went on to do a lot more after that. 1 second, people, 1 second. Yeah, I'm just in the office and they're testing the fire alarm. So if it does go off, I just had to mute it for a second just to make sure that doesn't affect anyone's ears. But if it does go off, I'm sorry about that anyway. So, so yeah, basically this trade went very far after it actually probably did about 1,000 pips. So it was actually a very good signal. Never hit stop loss, but I closed early, and that's why we have those metrics. Other than that, it was a very good month. It was still pretty much a break even month for me. I had a bit of issues organizing my setup from the beginning of the month, but yeah, it was pretty much a break even month. For me, it wasn't bad at all. It was just that, and even for other traders as well, they're in profit. Sorry, I meant to say that. So, um, as you can see, there wasn't really a major issue on the account. In fact, telling you there was break even from when I started. It was actually profitable because you can see it here. So, just to try and tell you people, so it's all here. You can see the results. It comes through every single day. You can see it tells you how much we won, how much we lost, etc. So, there's no way of me fabricating results, is what I'm trying to say here, guys and girls. So, if you want to join this group, just give me a message and you can join this gold trading group. It's very good. You don't have to be thinking you're going to blow your account. You're not going to blow your account with this. Even when we took our loss, it was about $45 to $50 almost on this £200 account, this $200 account. And I still was able to get it back before the end of the month, that profit. So as you know, it goes in trading. You're not going to win every trade. You're not going to lose every trade. But yeah, it's profitable. Loads of people had profits from this month, and it was only cost them 25 GBP to get lifetime access to this group. So amazing. Um, boom, boom, boom. All right, cool. So let's go into the next screen share. Uh, boom, boom, boom. Wait, share here. All right, cool. So we're in the next screen share now, and this is going to show you how between the $3 million that I'm actually managing for prop investments, I was able to make about $60,000 with this. For me, $60,000 is not a lot, so people got to understand that. It seems like it's a lot of money, but realistically, if you're managing $3 million worth of prop accounts, that's only 2%. I don't aim to try and make 20% gains when I'm trading prop accounts and stuff like that, because you're just going to get issues with the prop firm more than likely. They're not going to pay you out and all this stuff. So that is between many different accounts, but when you combine them together, it comes up to $3 million, around about that or a bit more. It's about 25 accounts I've got. So yeah, this is how I was able to basically do this setup, which was it was it was very simple, and I went through the breakdown of all of this. So I'm going to break it down for you here first, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the Telegram group and show you how I was even showing the VIP students that have purchased the monthly Neo VIP and what they were able to gain from all of this as well. So just let me know if you can still hear me nice and clear in here. If there's any noise, let me know. If you could just put in the chat for me, please, just so I know if everything's clear for you. Let me know in the chat if everything's still clear. All right, cool. Just want to make sure for the recording so you can hear me. Okay, yeah, so that was basically, something that's amazing. And these trades can still go as well. So let's start off with this. Let me just minimize this. If we look at GBP, if we look at the Neo FVG breakout table, which is this thing over here. So this is the custom Neo indicator. So nobody else has indicators like what you can see on my chart at the moment, pretty much. So the majority of the indicators here are, like I said, they're very unique to the market. This table is one here. You can have up to 28 pairs in here. So you just have to add the indicator twice, and you can put 14 tickers in each of them. So you can see them here, boom, boom, boom. So you can put whatever pairs you want. You can also get rid of all of the columns and rows as well here. So you can make the chart smaller and wider. So you can do this for yourself. So you can do this, like, see how the chart disappeared now, boom. So have these three on usually. And literally what we look for here is we go to the daily chart and we're looking for two columns to be highlighted in a bullish color or a bearish color. My bearish color is obviously gray, my bullish is green. And when you get that, that's basically telling you that there's a day trading setup that can occur. And that's what usually happens when we see price action breaking the 50 moving average and creating a breakout candle. So basically an FEG candle that could be setting up for a buy or sell continuation. And this is what we're getting here literally on this table. So it's telling us that volume has been pushed into the market, and we could be looking for, again, continuations. So right now, from tomorrow, Friday, we literally know that AUD JPY could be a buy trade, GBP JPY could be a buy trade, and NZD JPY could be a buy trade. And if we go to all of these pairs, they will all have a breakout like this, basically, in the market. Which is fantastic, because now you don't have to actually look for trading setups, people. The table is going to show you, okay, what pairs to go to. And that is it's a good piece of kit for that. You know what I'm saying? It's a good tool. So what I actually did here is, now you can see how the table looks here. We were looking for our re-entries on these setups based on last week's setups on these trades, because we had these breakouts from here, basically. So the same thing, the same as that thing occurred when we saw GBP JPY breaking out from here. Okay. Boom. So we can see when GBP JPY broke out from here, and if I actually change this to like 1 hour interval, you'll see the table is going to light up the same way it did before. Boom. Once we do it, boom. So you can see GBP JPY is a buy trade, and that was from last Friday. So from Monday, we was looking for trade setup continuations, because obviously that occurred on the Friday. And this is where the new update actually comes into play, which is actually really good for you guys and girls. The new update, which I did speak about in the last YouTube video, the first part was the lower low and the higher low system that I put here for the FEG breakout. But now what we actually have here is we have a support and resistance as well, which shows us support and resistance in the market and on a multi-time frame basis. You can actually set the time frames you would like your support and resistance to show. I prefer to always use the monthly, weekly, daily 4 hour chart, in order to gain an analysis. You can use lower time frames if you want, but this is a very good time frame in order for you to pretty much be able to be in line with what you see on this FVG breakout table. Again, the FVG breakout table works on all time frames. If I go to any other time frame, it's going to show me when the same pattern that you saw on this pair on GBP JPY appeared on the daily. It will be the same as that thing if you was to go to a different time frame, but it will show me, was there a 4-hour breakout? Was there a 1-hour breakout? So those things can help you a lot when it comes to trading volatility in the market, rather than having to start looking for individual pairs. You can literally just see it in front of you straight away at one glance. Okay, so now when we go into what we was looking for here, I wanted to make sure, for me, I wanted to make sure at least the weekly time frame was still in a buy. I wanted to make sure the daily and the 4-hour now continue to come back. Well, they basically follow through and then go back into a buy as well. So I wasn't going to look for a trade setup until I started to see this type of pattern happen. And what I always tell people is always go to your lowest time frame here in order for you to do the analysis. So we're going to go to our 4-hour time frame on GBP JPY here. Okay. So going to our 4-hour time frame on GBP JPY, the next thing I'll be looking for is for price action to give me an indication that we've seen some type of pullback happening, and then we're seeing the new formation of a higher low on a daily or 4-hour chart. What I've been explaining to a lot of the VIPs lately is this is a very good thing to look for in order for you to figure out when price action has basically created a higher low or lower high. So instead of us just having the first update we had here, now we also got this support and resistance that gives us an extra confluence to say that, oh, any one of these labels that I've posted here has a better chance of actually sticking and giving you a solid idea of where an entry could be. So all I was doing was just waiting for price action to pull back bearish, and then I wanted price action to go bullish. But realistically, even though after it's pulled back bearish, I could still find an entry looking from the lowest points to be able to catch a buy trade setup. So all I did is just patiently wait. We're just going to put this on a 4-hour interval so it's a bit faster. All I did is patiently wait for this table to update itself. Okay, so we'll just wait for the indicator to load. So now we're just looking at this table here. I'm going to make the table a little bit bigger for people. It's also going to make the FVG table bigger, but don't worry about that, people. It's just so you can actually see it in the recording. So we're just going to make this small now, just for some people, it's difficult for them to see it. So let's just make it bigger. Cool. All right then, so now it's a bit bigger. Hopefully people should be able to see this if they're watching on YouTube or anything like that. You can obviously make it even bigger if you want to as well. If you've got a certain screen size, you can make everything bigger for you and you'll be able to see everything clear, very, very clearly. Or if you don't like it so big, you can make it smaller. So what I'm paying attention to here, remember, is I'm paying attention to the higher low. I'm paying attention to the daily time frame and the 4-hour time frame. That's what I'm paying attention to see what happens. I want the daily time frame to pull back, and I want the 4-hour to tell me when it's kicking in for buy trade setups, so I can find a continuation on the trade setup, basically. So I'm just going to keep moving forward. We haven't seen a daily pullback yet, so we're not interested. Okay, what do we see here now, guys and girls? This is why this is epic. Remember, the FVG table has already told me that GBP JPY can buy, but we have to pay attention to structure. Remember what I taught you in the last video. Okay, this might be structure moving, but we need the daily time frame to pull back first before creating a 4-hour higher low here to possibly continue into a daily higher low and then to go higher. So you're literally seeing all of this in front of you without you having to draw things or do anything crazy. The indicator is showing you all of this stuff. So now we can see the daily time frame is obviously pulled back, and we're not even on the daily time frame. We're actually on the 4-hour time frame. That's the funny thing. We're literally on the 4-hour time frame, but we can see a multi-time frame analysis, which is amazing. So all we're going to do is just move forward with this. So we're just going to go forward. So we're still waiting for an entry here. But now that we've seen this pullback, we want this 4-hour time frame to give us an indication that we're seeing a breakout on here. So we might even see a breakout on this FVG indicator as well for GBP JPY. Notice it still says no here, but let's just pay attention to what we see. Yeah. So boom, boom, boom. You can see price action is still pulling back. So I actually gave here, let me go back here for you guys and girls. So I'm not jumping. I'm giving you exactly how I gave it to my VIPs. And this is me collecting data and getting better with this. So we'll go here. Boom. So when this actually gave me an entry like here, boom. On Tuesday, I actually told people they could enter this trade for a buy. Why would I do that, guys and girls? Well, obviously what I was trying to look for, again, very simple. This was the signal I gave out, and I'll show proof of this after. The reason why I gave that out is because obviously if the daily's pulled back, I'm looking for a 4-hour, higher low re-entry to make me catch a daily higher low as well. I want to catch the lowest point, hopefully, of the daily higher low so I can catch the breakout trade for the buy, okay? So again, this is when I gave the signal out because the tables told me, okay, there's a 4-hour support and a daily and a 4-hour higher low here that's formed. So price couldn't buy from here. This is what I'm thinking at this point. But what I did explain to people is that it is always better when the daily time frame is also in sync with what you can see here. So how you can see this here, it would be nice to also see the daily time frame there. Sorry, I'm sorry that the Zoom button keeps coming in. I hope you could take that off at some point. But if you're paying attention to the table below, let me do this. This might be a bit easier for you. If you're paying attention to this here, we want the daily time frame to also look like how the 4-hour does, at least like that, or start to go more bullish. This is what we want. We haven't seen no signs of any bullish activity on this daily. And this is where I've made my mistake. I didn't put that indication out there that this can happen, but it's where I made my mistake in my entry and I held drawdown in this trade. But as soon as it started to get better, things got better as well. So let's just pay attention to this chart as it's moving, this table. So you can see now the 4-hour is still doing this, boom. But what do we see here now, guys and girls? Remember, all of this, you didn't even have to stress in the market. If you never entered it in the bad entry I entered in at first, you'd have just been waiting. And this, again, is what I've explained to the VIPs. Look here now. It's told us the daily has formed a higher low. The reason I try to get in early is because sometimes when the daily chart forms a higher low for a continuation of a trade or a lower high, it can do a massive move. And if it does a massive move, you're obviously going to miss the trade. So obviously, it's a bit of fear of missing out. And I think even at my point in trading, this can still happen to you. But I'm here to be transparent with you guys and girls, and I'm not here to lie. Again, I can't lie because I'm giving these a signal. So anybody will tell you, hey, that was a pile of rubbish. You understand what I mean? But at least the one thing I am doing is even if I haven't given you a bad entry, I follow through with the trade, whether I close it, whether I see what's happening or whatever. And it's like what I'm doing in this Zoom call. So notice now it said higher low. So now here's where I should have been more interested in this trade setup and what can happen from here. So the next thing I'm looking for here is the 4-hour to also create a support or a turncoat support. Meaning that if it's a support, we know that price action should be holding this 4-hour support, yeah? And then if it's a turncoat, the turncoat 4-hour level could be like here. Obviously, you can switch it on in the indicator. I just don't want lots of stuff on my chart. But let's just say the turncoat 4 hours like here. If it was to break through this level here, boom, this will turn into a turncoat. So it's a support TC. And a turncoat, just for people to understand, it's just when price buys up, sells down, and breaks through. This here, yeah. Sorry, it would do this. My bad, people. Give me a second. Yeah, it would basically do this. That's the way to put it. Boom. This point here would be the turncoat. So imagine the resistance was there. This would be the turncoat resistance because this is a break and retest. It's just the exact same thing for buy. It's the same. It's this for buys, and it's the exact same thing for sells. Just imagine it looks like this for sells. It's a break and retest. So it's telling you on the 4-hour chart if there's a break and retest or whatever time frame, it will say support or resistance turncoat, just so people understand that. Okay. So now this is what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for it to say either support on the 4-hour here, and it just happened, or a turncoat support. So let's just fast forward it and see what actually happens here, guys and girls. Yeah. Let's fast forward it. Boom, boom. So here we've got a 4-hour support. So this is now giving me a good indication that price action can start to buy from this area here. It's giving me a very good indication that we could get a possible entry in this point. So here is where there would have been a better entry for me. Regardless if it starts to pull back a bit more, here's where a better entry would be. People might be asking you, okay, but where would you put your stop loss and all of that? I'll give you that explanation after. Let's just go for the trade first, the entry. Here is where you would have had a better entry in this trade right at this point here. So let's just fast forward it a little bit more. But remember, the daily resistance is still there, but we have a daily high low that's formed. So we're going to go here. Boom, boom, boom. Price action pulls back a bit more. Remember our entries there. Boom. Now, look what happened here, guys and girls. Okay, so I'm going to take that back again just so you can see that. So we had a little bit of the dip here that would have concerned people. Probably some people saying, but maybe it would have hit your stop loss because price was here. No, you could still have a bit of a different stop loss. That's fine. I don't actually ever trade with a stop loss. I just lower my risk and trade accordingly to my account size. I think that's a bit better personally because, again, nobody knows to the pip every single time where price might not go to. I just lower my lot size. And if once the drawdown becomes too much, I just cut my trade. It's very simple. You can even set alerts on certain areas where you believe is too much. But when I give my signals, I always put a stop loss there. And I always tell people if I'm still in the trade entry. So here, boom, pay attention to what happened here. So obviously price action, you can see on the 4 hour started to pull back. But remember, we still have a daily higher low here. So it's telling us price action can hold. Okay. Boom. Boom. So now we got the same thing again. So even if you didn't get this entry that I gave you up here, you could have had this entry here. Okay. Boom. You could have had this entry here on this green candle. Because literally every time these W's or these highs, these lows, these M's, this will also change the high or low, literally. But the support and resistance is different from that. So you can see you could have gotten this W2 entry here. Boom. Okay. Now, I want people to pay attention to what I've shown you here. Yeah, I'm showing you here. Look at this as well. Boom. This is what's even a fantastic sign. Okay, we're going to go here. Boom. Okay, we're going to go at this point right here. So now, yeah, we have a 4 hour breakout here. Look at the table here. It also tells you on GBP JPY. You see how these tables are working together. It's also telling you there's a breakout order here. So now you're trading momentum even from a 4 hour point of view. You've got a 4 hour breakout here. We've got a turncoat. Remember what I showed you turncoats are. Instead of trying to catch it when it's at its very bottom point or very top, now you're trying to catch the boom, boom, boom. You're trying to catch the break and retest area. You see? This is basically what's happened on the 4 hour. Remember, all we're trying to do is catch the daily high or low. This is what's basically happened. Price pulled back down. Then it's doing this breakout here now. And then this is what's happening. So when it comes to this point, obviously it doesn't have to go all the way here. A break and retest could be that small, literally. Yeah. So now we can see it's broken its turncoat area, which is turncoat area is, it was right here in the market. Okay. So if I want to do switch on this, I can even switch on the lines. Let's see if the time frame's on. Okay, so it's not on. Whoops. Boom. Let's see if the color's there. Let's do this. Let's make this very bright so you can just so you can see it, guys and girls. Okay. Boom. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Should be there. There. Boom. So you can see the indicator is automatically showing you where all the multi-time frame support and resistance basically is. So let's remove this drawing as well here. Yeah. So if we remove this drawing, hold on a second, people. Yeah, so sorry about that, people. I'm back now. So yeah, basically what I'm saying is there's a turncoat level here, which is the resistance level. So price action is going to pull back to this level or just tap this level and then continue from there. Look what happens from here. What do we see starting to happen here? Yeah, we can even see from this that the monthly has also even gone bullish here. Look at how bullish this table is from when we started. So we've got a monthly higher high. Sorry, no, it shouldn't even be a higher high. It'll be a lower low. I've got to double check that as well. It could just be because it's replay mode. That's supposed to say lower low, by the way. So I've got to check that if there's any bugs or errors there. But that's fine. I can easily update that in 1 second. Yeah. Cool. Now we can see that straight away, we've got everything here. We've got our daily high low. We've got our, let me use this because it'll give us more clarity. We've got our daily higher low. We've got our 4-hour turncoat there as well. Yeah. And our 4-hour higher low as well. So here is the entry. So remember, we wanted to enter originally. Well, our first original entry was from here, but we didn't wait for the daily to get into place. So really and truly, this was a bad entry. But even if we entered from the second one, which was like here, we from this breakout candle, we're back in profit now. Wasn't too crazy. We literally gone boom, straight back into profit. Do you understand? And even if you didn't enter all of that, you waited for the actual breakout that you can see. Turncoats are always better because they're breakouts, especially if you get a turncoat with a breakout on the FVG indicator, as you can see over here. Boom, you can see that means there's momentum. So this is a great idea that price action can continue to buy. Okay. And then what do you see here? Boom. Now look at the table. From lying and flying, people, the table is reading this. Everything that this table has put together here, and even this FVG table, this is things I've put together over years of trading. It's not just things I've slapped together and I said, I'm going to sell this product to people. No, people, this is 150 billion% tested, trialed, and all this type of stuff. It's not something I've just slapped together. It's not just a bunch of, oh, let me grab this indicator, I'll slam that there and put this there and tell everybody this is a special neon strategy. No, even down to how the market is reading these higher lows, support and resistance. This is something I've noticed based on candlestick patterns and coded myself with as well with a coding team, yeah, and put together to say, hey, this is what I believe the market's doing. I want people to feel and understand that information, yeah. This is something different. It's not like what every other person has in the market. And I'm just trying to resell it to you. No. Do you understand? Literally, something I've seen myself and I said, hey, I'm not saying it's a new strategy because the market obviously never really has a new strategy. But I'm saying in terms of what I've seen out there, people don't have this indicator. And I've used thousands of different indicators, people. I'm the indicator guy. You can see from my old YouTube videos. And this is like custom. So now look how clear this table is, and then obviously we can start to see what happens. Boom. Boom. And this is the trade here where you start to see people going into crazy profits. Let me just show you some of that um, in the Telegram so you can see. So I'm going to just show you eventually what it closed out on. Give me a second, guys and girls. Boom, 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 boom. Cool. So this is the Neo Trading Group on Telegram, and here you can see the GBP JPY trade. You can see my entry, see the trade. You can see when I took the trade. Like I told you, it was Tuesday. Boom, right there, all transparent. That's that one there. But just to show you, whilst we're still here in this one, I'm going to show you the signal chat you also get with Neo. So let's go to the day I actually entered the trade. So you can see here, GBP JPY buy entry now. Again, that was on the 29th of April. You can see it on my Telegram saying there. Boom. Okay. From the 20, and then obviously I'm going to go over enter DJPY as well. But you can see enter DJPY here as well, right here. You can see it. Okay. That I said this specifically before. I said now we can see bearish signs in this pair, but all is not lost. What we want basically is that multi-time frame table to do now, sorry, is to create a 4-hour support higher low. This is a weak second entry. I was in this trade from the signal setup that I had from the previous week, which was here, which went into profits as well. This one here. So this trade went into profits. Everybody made profits in this trade. Okay. You can see here, boom. Okay. But I was holding it so it could go into a bigger take profit. And like I said, but if you wait for it to create a new daily support, this will be a strong entry basically for more buy positions. So I entered again on the weak position, unfortunately, bit of fear of missing out. So I take accountability for that. But we'll go into the enter DJPY trade after. I just want you all to see this as well. So now you can even see when I gave the second entry out here for enter DJPY. You can see I was paying attention to the table, but I wasn't patient enough to wait. No, sorry, this entry was just before. It is the entry, but I think it was just before the lower high was created there. Maybe I've given it in, given the entry for the trade on the 4-hour. Okay, it might have been from the 4 hour turncoat entry. That's when I've given that one there. Boom. So that's fine. But again, I'll go over that trade after. I don't want nobody to think, oh, but this looks different or there's something there. I'll literally go over that trade after people. Boom, 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 boom. I just want you all to see this here. So as you know, I'm still in NZDJPY, just letting people know, even though it went down, you can see it went down to the stop loss area. Remember, I don't trade with a stop loss. So I'm telling people, hey, I'm still in the trade. I'm holding my trade, but I wanted people to pay attention to what it's saying here. You can see, boom, I'm giving you an update on what the table's saying and saying, look, this is what we're waiting for. This is what GJ's saying at the time. So everything I've just shown you in you can see the daily high and low there. It's got one bar now. This is real time in the market when this has happened, people. These screenshots I'm giving, this is as the market's moving, not replay mode. So there's no fabrication here, and that's why I did it. So people can't say, "Oh, but it's real time in the market." When exactly when the market is showing me this, or at least when I've seen it, gone to the computer and seen it, I'm like, okay, this is what the market's showing on the indicator. So we should be seeing this happen next because the indicator is telling us this. Okay. Boom. We move forward. We move forward. So GJ has a new support now. So I'm showing them here. Boom. So we can see this is the same support. So this was the second entry I've just explained on GJ. So I'm going through all of this stuff and now I'm showing people, boom. And by the next day, that 4 hour support, you can see now it's starting to go into profits from any negatives. And then obviously now you can see we're starting to get more. It's a midweek reversal is what I'm explaining to the traders. You can see more profits. You can see more profits and so on. Obviously, that's how it goes there. So has anybody got any questions before I go into NZDJPY just for now? I don't want to go into NZDJPY without, if anybody that's here at the moment has any questions on anything, please let me know if you've got any questions so far. Okay, no questions. Is it making sense what I'm saying at the moment in terms of the step by step I'm explaining and what you'd be looking for and the mistakes I made as well? Because some people they will try and they'll bite your head off because you're the creator and they're like you shouldn't make mistakes, but no, I'm human. I make mistakes. It's that simple. I make mistakes, man. I cannot lie. It still worked out, and I was with everybody in the bad period of it, but it still worked out. But are you seeing the breakdown of everything? So okay, let's just go over into NZDJPY. Now, boom. So we're going to NZD JPY. There's a lot of people asleep at the moment, but hey, it's important because by the time it gets to Friday and bank holiday, all the way to bank holiday Monday, I'm going to be busy. So that's why I said, let me just get this Zoom out of the way so everyone understands how this table works. It's pretty sad because it's a Zoom and not a lot of people watch it on YouTube, but they don't realize how much value there is here. No matter what strategy, I always say that, no matter what strategy you trade, Neo is designed to help you. And I think people need to realize that. That's what I think people have. They feel like, oh, I have to trade the Neo strategy. No, you can actually trade a completely different strategy. But I guarantee you, whatever strategy you're trading, Neo will show you some indications that will assist your strategy. And I think a lot of people have to get onto that. When more people cotton onto that, there'll be a lot more people that are actually very interested in this product. They'll be like, oh, wow, I could trade anything. Because I'm sure a lot of traders know about Forex Alex G. He just made $1 million on a trade. The Euro AUD trade that he took where he made, sorry, the AUD CAD trade is one. And the Euro AUD trade, specifically the Euro AUD trade where he made the 300K. I've been saying that Euro AUD is going to sell for the last 2 weeks because Neo was showing me this and I was telling every single person. Do you understand? And that's a trade he had to obviously go and mark up and everything, but Neo showed me that straight away. So anyway, let's go into this pattern here. Boom. So NZDJPY, we was in it from here last week. If we go to the daily chart, just for you guys and girls to see, boom. Just to show you no fabrications, I'm not making up lies. What does the table say here? NZDJPY, 2 columns are bullish. We also had a daily turncoat break. We had everything pretty much here, right here, after price action had done this. So let's go here first. Need to go here, boom. And just do this. There you go, boom. So it should appear, yeah, it should appear there, boom. So you can see it's appeared right here. So it's telling us, hey, straight away on Thursday, we should be looking for buy continuations. That's why I gave the signal out when it did come. Usually we go to the 4-hour chart. We do everything proper here. The 4-hour chart, we wait for an FVG pullback as well. In GJ, I explained, I explained the structure, but let me go over even the FVG pullback that's there. So this is something I've made many videos on. All the videos of the day trading strategies there. I'm just showing you how you can use a day trading strategy with this new indicator update to get a better consistency of trades. Do you understand? And I'm literally showing you what is the best ones and what I've learned as well to make sure that you get the best trade entries. So you can see here, boom, we've entered DJPY. We was waiting for price action to come back to this FVG and then give us a W1, a W2, or a low entry for a buy. It's come back to the FVG. Cool. And then we get our entry. I think it's not this candle, it's this candle here. Yeah, boom. Boom, we get our W2 entry for the buy entry right there. Also at the same time, what do you see right here on the indicator? If I'm lying, I'm flying, people. Please let me know. The weekly is bullish. This is what we want. The daily was a higher low. Sorry, let me use this. So it's better. Boom. The daily was a higher low. Yeah, right there. So let's go with that. The daily was a higher low 1 day ago. You can see, because it says there. Boom, so it's fresh, just like GJ was when I was showing you that. The 4 hours fresh as well. But remember, now we've also got a daily turncoat support. So that's not even a 4-hour turncoat support this time. We've got a day with that daily breakout that happened. We've got a 4-hour daily turncoat support, a break and a retest that can happen. So I'm very confident with entering this trade. So I've entered the trade from this W2 entry here. Boom, it's also gone to the 4-hour FVG, as you should be trading day trader strategy on Neo. It's all there. Everything's perfect for us. What's the next thing we're going to do? Remember, this was even a breakout candle, just to show people. Look here, boom. Look at the 4-hour table when I press forward. What does it say here? Boom. Okay, so let's go less time. Give me a second. Boom. This is moving too fast. Let's just go to 5-minute intervals. And you'll see that the table should update. There you go, boom. So you see NZDJPY. Notice that same type of patterns happening there. Remember, I told you, this is telling you volume is showing you on 28 pairs when volume is kicking in the market. So if you match this with what you're seeing down here, boom, you're winning. You're winning. Do you understand? It's just about mastering it. And that's why I'm making the zoom. So straight away, you can already see that. That's great. You can see from the entry, look. So what did we have here? Look at the table. It says daily higher low, 1. Turncoat, yes, it was 12 bars ago, because it's telling you on the 4-hour chart, it happened 12 bars ago, but it really happened, obviously, the daily turncoat break happened the day before, but again, it's still telling you that daily turncoat's been hit. That's perfect. So it's telling you everything is bullish from the weekly to the daily, and now the 4 hours giving you the higher low and the support. So you're already in a winner. Remember, GJ was inconsistent in the daily. That's why we saw the extra pullback. This one wasn't. Okay, so now we just close that. Let's fast forward this. So let's go to 4-hour intervals, just to make it a bit faster for us. Yeah. Boom. And let's pay attention to the table. Boom. So you can see straight away what's really happening. You can see when you've got more clarity on the table, boom, this is how it goes in. So I've made the new saying in the group. Give me a second. So this is the saying I've made for quotes. I'm just going to read it out to you. And it says here, if it's not in line, wait for the turncoat sign. When it's in line, it's time to shine. So as soon as it gave us that first entry, it was time to shine as soon as this closed, because the table's telling us it's time to shine because it's in line. You understand? But when it came to GJ, we had to be a bit better because it wasn't in line. So we had to wait for the turncoat sign. Do you understand? Keeping it very simple, trying to make some catchy phrases here for us, yeah? Cool. So boom, you can see obviously what happened with NZDJPY. So as soon as this happened, this is when the majority of the traders came out on Friday. It was around about here before price started to pull back. This is when they came into the trade. But even if you didn't get out there, it still pulled back a bit more, giving you a second chance to get out. And this is how you made a quick Thursday to Friday profitable trade. And that's what you saw there. I never closed out because I thought it could go bigger. And I knew the end of the month was opening. So I knew a new monthly candle was opening. So I said, it probably wants to continue this into the next month because I can see the transition of market shift right in front of my eyes here. Okay, so obviously this was not great at first because when we go into the next week, what starts to happen? Let me just move this out of the way, sorry. Boom, pay attention to the table. So now we're going into the next week and then price action starts to do this, which is crazy because I was actually negative 7,000 on this account at a certain point because it decided to do this. So I was negative 7K transparent. But I'm not scared because I'm like, okay, there's still a potential that this can reverse. Because I understand based on the structure we can see between here and here, this can reverse. So we still go, boom. Then the daily comes in. It's even mad because it actually does a neo day trade for the sell here. Because now you can see there's a lower high here, there's a daily resistance here, and there's a resistance turncoat. So you're going to see price action sell some more. So based even just on the little setup and even neo on the daily chart, on here, on the FEG breakout, it actually has two bearish columns. Let's go over there just to show you guys and girls that I'm not lying. Look, see, so it's literally showing you on Neo, even though it was opposite, I didn't want it to do it. The table has shown me, hey, this can pull back more against you because look, it's a double column bearish. Yeah, and when we go to the 4 hour, what do we see here? Exactly what I taught you guys and girls for the last 30, 40 minutes. Boom. You can see the table. I just got to press this again. So let's go here. Boom. Yeah, let's go here. So yeah, boom, there. So that's fine. So we can see price actions pull back into here. As it's pulled back into here, we're waiting for our M1, M2 or M1, M2 or higher entry, yeah, to appear. Boom. What happens? You've got this, everything here. You've got a high entry there. It's pulled back into the 4 hour FEG. We already know the daily has told us you can look for sell setups going into Tuesday. And what do you see? Boom. This is a nice quick day trade on NJ for the sell. So even as as we were trying to hold the buy trade, people, listen to what I'm telling you. Everything came up on here for the sell trade. The only reason I wouldn't sell this trade is why? The weekly time frame. So I keep doing that. Sorry, guys and girls, there's lots of fidgety stuff in here. Boom. The only reason I didn't is because the weekly time frame is bullish. So I'm not gonna try and sell it because I know it might not be a strong sell because the weekly time frame is bullish. There might not be a continuation of this weekly trend. Not we've got a weekly bullish support and we've got a weekly bullish higher low. So I know that this is just possibly a pullback on the weekly chart, but we should be seeing a continuation of a buy. So boom. So realistically, if I closed my position like some of the traders did in the VIP on Friday around this point here, great. Now when I'm looking for my buy entry, this is where I've been looking for my buy entry. What we're waiting on is we're waiting on the daily to create at least a higher low or a support. Yeah. We want the 4 hour to create a higher low, a support, or a turncoat entry. We haven't seen that yet. It hasn't happened. From the start of this week, we haven't seen that happen. Yeah, we haven't seen none of that happen, literally. Okay. Boom. We move it forward. Now we've seen the 4 hour create a higher low and a support. But what is wrong with this now, people? Anyone that's paying attention to the Zoom call, what is wrong with that table that we can see right there? What is not in our favor? Please let me know, guys and girls. Anyone that's still paying attention to this with me right now? What is wrong with this table, and why shouldn't we be entering a buy, even though the 4 hours told us there's a higher low and a support? What is wrong with that table? What do you think is wrong here? Thank you, Anton. The daily chart is bearish. Do you understand? So it's telling you, do not enter just yet. Wait. So let's move forward. You can see it pull back for some more. Boom. Now look at this table, people. Your entry for this week would have been here. I'm not gassing. This is not just replay mode. Everything I'm showing you here, I posted as it happened. Remember, this is replay mode showing you on a 4 hour movement of the chart straight away, immediately. Remember, 4 hours is 4 hours. So in that 4 hours, let's say an hour into the 4 hours or 15 minutes, I've posted a screenshot to show everyone. Look what the indicator is saying, people. Guess what can happen? Exactly what I've said at the start of the week. When the daily forms of support, we can see a strong entry into this trade. Remember, we've had it here, not even here, we've had it here, people, I think. Hold on. Yeah, it would be here because this was the close. So this is where your entry would be, giving you, oops, sorry. Didn't mean to do that, guys and girls, bear with me. My bad. So we can even see it through again. Boom. Yeah, our entry would be there, okay? Now look what happens. Now, I can't make this up, guys and girls. I cannot make this up. Let's close this because we'll see exactly what happened. Boom, there we go. I cannot make this up. We had our entry here and look at the trade. No drawdown. No drawdown. You see? So when it's in line, it's time to shine. When it's not in line, wait for the turncoat sign. Do you understand? It was in line. We had a daily high low and a daily support. We had a 4 hour high low and a 4 hour support. That's a goal. Remember, GJ is good because you can see the difference between two trades. GJ was inconsistent, so it created headache. So what I've noticed is that if you actually wait for it, when it's inconsistent, so it's not the 4 hour and the daily are not matching properly, then you've got to wait for the 4 hour to break a turncoat because that's telling you that, hey, now from this movement, we can start to see by the end of the day's close, the daily going back into line. It comes back in line. Do you understand? This is what we're seeing. Is that clear for you guys and girls that are here with me on the Zoom right now? Is that clear? Cool. Do you understand? This is what we're starting to see. Remember, and what I'm trying to show people from all of this is the indicators showing you all of this. There is no way if you master what I've said in this Zoom call, ask questions as well, because that's what the VIP group's for. Ask questions based on it. Put your screenshot of, oh, look at the table now, John. Does this look like it could be a buy setup? I will tell you, hey, wait for the 4 hour turncoat. That makes more sense. Wait for the da-da-da. I will tell you. Do you understand? You're not alone, is what I'm trying to tell you. So even when you purchase this product, you're not alone. I'm not a person. I'm not one of those mentors that only talk once a month. I talk every single day in this group. And I can vouch for it. I can show people. There's proof of that. Constantly, I'm talking in this group. Do you understand? The VIP group for Neo. Every single day I'm talking there. Boom. And now you can see obviously what happened with this signal trade. And that was let's just show you from your entry there. That was a 130 pip trade with a stop loss of about 50 pips in this. So you can see where it would be better to put your stop loss now, ideally, before I was using the 4 hour FVGs, but I wasn't paying attention to all the structure and support and resistance. It's not that I didn't know it. It's that as we go along this Neo journey, if I have losing trades, I go back and evaluate these losing trades and I see what could have helped us from part of the Neo indicators I've created that can make sense. And this is why I've added these two updates in this table here. It's not to confuse people. It's not to make it harder. It's, hey, I'm trying to make it easier because if you follow the steps, you will be fine. Do you understand? So now, yes, you might say, oh, but I thought we had to enter just on a 4 hour FVG. Yeah, I get it. I'm not saying you don't enter on a 4 hour FVG, but I'm saying that if you're not using this as well, you have the chance of what happened here. If you're holding this for a swing trade, this one here, this was a 4 hour FVG. There was a 4 hour bullish FVG in here. Remember, you would have entered here, but now you're holding 90 pips of drawdown that you don't need to hold. You would have just come out here. And when you're looking for the re-entry this week in this trade setup, because the structure is telling you that this can continue, yeah, you would have easily have just been able to get in here and continue this trade. Do you understand? Easy as that. You didn't even have to stress people. You didn't even have to stress. All you have to do is wait every 4 hours to see what the chart's doing. Do you understand that? You would have been able to get your entry right in here. Boom, from that breakout. Cool. Any questions on what I've just explained to you there, guys and girls, so far? Any questions? Cool. All right, so now we're going to go into the next breakdown of this. So what I'm doing at the start of every single week to make my life easier is, you can label tag pairs by just clicking here and you can put different color tags on there. All I need is bullish and bearish. And the reason for this, yeah, it's very simple, the logic behind it. It's very simple. Obviously, I want the trades to appear on this dashboard first before I continue with them. But the first and foremost, let me just do this. Boom, boom, boom. Switch on this. This is just a weekly separator. So just so you can see, this is obviously this week, just to make it easier for you. Remember, I've tagged all these pairs at the start of the week. So if this indicator is so rubbish, let's just say now, or it's just something I'm selling to you, please explain to me why it's picking up these ideas of this trade. Now, not all of these trades have done a day breakout strategy on this FBG table, but I'm just explaining to you so you can get the idea of what's happened here. Yeah. Regardless of that, this is why I also created these two updates here for everyone. Structure is always moving even if the breakout hasn't happened, because it has to do the structure to form for the breakout to happen. So if it's doing it before the daily breakouts happen for us to look for a trade setup, when the daily breakout happens as well, it's going to do it as well. Do you understand? It's going to do the same thing. Structure is going to continue in this table. That's what gave me the idea and the logic behind it. But of course, I want to get as much data as possible to be able to prove to you guys and girls that, hey, this works. So these are trades that not necessarily all of them have even broken out on the daily time frame, but structure is telling us, hey, this is a possible trade setup. So we can see here, and what I do is that all I do is go through every single pair. Notice I've got every pair in my watch list here, pretty much from A to Z. And then there's some indexes in there, metals as well, and cryptos. And all I'm looking for is by the time the market closes, so this is what you're going to do literally. When the market closes on Friday, when it opens on Sunday, you're just going to go through every single pair and tag bullish or bearish for whatever pair has a lower high that says one, yeah, on the weekly, or a higher low that says one on the weekly, literally. Okay. Yeah, I can easily see here that the bullish and bearish color on the monthly is incorrect. You can see this shouldn't be bullish, bearish, this should be bullish. So I will obviously update that. That's obviously just a bug. I can update that in a matter of seconds. That shouldn't be an issue. So it's just literally a color issue there, really. So, but yeah, you can see straight away what happened. So before the week had started, I already tagged this bearish. And what do we see happening in this pair? Now let's even look at the setup that we see as the market moves, yeah, where we could possibly get an entry in here. We're going to go from here. So I can't do no fabrications. Might get it wrong, but let's just see. Let's have some fun at the end of this Zoom. Because obviously I explained the winning trades. So let's have some fun so people can understand this a little bit better. And when they go through the recording. Boom. So what we're going to be looking for here is obviously if it's going to sell, we want to see the daily giving us some type of indication of a sell. And we also want the 4-hour to give us an indication of a possible sell setup. Right now, we can see the daily's created a lower high, it says. So what we're going to be looking for here is we can definitely see that there's a support on the daily. So what we would like to see is at least a resistance turncoat break and a lower high forming on the 4-hour before we look for an entry in this trade. Yeah. We haven't seen a resistance turncoat break, but it looks like you can enter the sell in this trade. It is not ready yet because remember, there's a daily support there. We want to see a resistance. If it's not in line, look for the turncoat sign. That's why I made the quote because I went through hours and hours of back testing all the trades like I'm going to show you now and obviously previous trades as well. No turncoat sign. See, it went bullish. No turn. It went bullish turncoat. Yeah, not bearish. The bearish turncoat's here. When it breaks here, the bullish one is up here. Can you see now? Obviously, it's moved because it just did one and it's moving to the next candle. You can add more of these lines on the chart if you just go into the settings and then you change this. You change the support and resistance to whatever number you want. But obviously, I want the chart to be clear. So it's not on zones, it's on lines. If you change it to zones as well, just so you can see, guys and girls, can actually see the zones, but obviously they're going to overlap because you're going to have different time frame zones on there. As you can see, there's a 4-hour resistance and support, daily support resistance. So if you use the lines, it's just a little bit more clearer for you. Yeah, cool. So now we want it to at least break this level here before we start looking for a entry. And as long as the daily stays in line on this table, let's move forward. Now the dailies come out of line. Can you see people? So it's not in line anymore. So we're not looking for an entry on this. We've got to wait. We've got to hold fire. We've got to chill, sit on your hands. Boom. Now you've got a daily resistance, okay? And a daily support. So now the daily's looking way better. Remember, the indicator's showing you all of this. I'm not fabricating this. I have to keep saying it because people have some, I don't know, they have some bias on indicators. They'll be like, oh, indicators are crap. Just learn market structure. But this is making your life easier. So don't ask me why. So we move forward now. Now we're just waiting. Now we don't even need to wait. Now, listen to me. Now we don't even need to wait here for the turncoat break because we've got a daily and a 4-hour in line. So technically, our entry would be here. Look, hold on, boom. Here's where our entry is. Right now, here, boom. Short position, we've entered here. Remember, this is not even a daily breakout trade. Our stop loss above these highs here. And obviously we've got all the liquidities down here for a take profit level. Yeah, so let's just put it down here for one to one. Yeah, boom. Now we've even got a turncoat resistance as well. Look, boom. You see when you got the turncoat resistance? It broke the resistance when it came here at this point here anyway, where this white line was. But now you can see straight away. So this was even more than a 1-to-1 R trade. This trade here actually gave you literally almost a 1-to-2. So we go here, boom. It gave you more looks. It still went down. So it gave you a 1-to-2 R set up in there, 1-to-2, 2.2 R trade. Can you see? Did you all just see what the table did there to give you the indication that you could take this trade? Do you understand that, people? What I just said to you? Who's still here with me? It wasn't in line at first, so we was waiting for the turncoat sign. Do you understand? Then it did go in line. We didn't have to wait for the turncoat no more. The daily and the 4-hour, everything was beautiful. So we entered. Does that make sense what I just shown you there, guys and girls? Let me know, please. You wait for the daily to get in line. And then once the daily's in line, you're waiting for the 4-hour to get in line. Obviously, this one, pay attention to this one again. We waited for the daily to get in line. That's what we was waiting for. But before this breakout had happened, what happened here? Let's wait for it to load up just to show people again. Yeah. I think this is very important. So this Zoom's going to be a bit longer than usual, but people can take breaks. It's going to go on YouTube. Again, it's sad that people won't watch it because it'd be longer, but I'm not here to do full gazy. I'm here to actually try and make people money, or at least for them to get a way better education. And I'm just trying to provide tools, like that. So if you can spread the word, it would help out a lot as well. So look here, boom. Boom. Can you see? So the daily wasn't in line, but now the daily came in line and the 4-hour, both of them together. So you had no reason not to enter this trade here for this sell. You had the weekly in line, the daily, and the 4-hour. If anything, it should at least give you a 1-to-1 trade. So you see how you can still get scalp trades, day trades, or swing trades. The trades I took were pretty much swing trades, but you can see how now you can get a day trade. It's just showing you straight away, boom, it shows you. I didn't make this up. The indicator showed you everything. Boom. I didn't enter the trade. Neo told me to enter the trade, so I entered the trade, man. You understand? Boom. Do you understand? So let's go to the next one. So Euro USD, let's close this first so we can see. Euro USD didn't really sell because we haven't really seen a massive sell, but let's just see when you could have got in the start of this sell here on Euro USD. So we'll start at the beginning of the week again. I'm trying to show you how you would see it in the market. Obviously, it's replay mode, but we can't obviously sit on a Zoom. Once things get just a little bit better, that I'm trying to sort out stuff and all this, then I will be doing the live Zoom calls. But again, if it's a 4-hour movement, like I'm not going to just scalp trade just to please people, is what I try and tell people. I'm trying to make my own money. So I know some people might love that, but if you love that so much, join the gold group and you can scalp to high heaven with me in that gold group because you just get signals. But if you want to actually learn how to also trade yourself and have a product, this is what this is for. So you can see, boom. So now the daily's in line, but the daily lower high is there, but the daily support is not there. So we will be waiting for a 4-hour turncoat and a 4-hour lower high. Let's wait. We haven't got a 4-hour turncoat and a lower high. The lower high is the turncoat would be when it breaks this white line here for the sell. We haven't got that yet. Yeah, cool. We still haven't got it. You see, it went the other way, just like EuroCAD did. It went the other way. So we haven't got it yet. Let's wait. Now the daily's not in line no more, so we don't want this. Now the 4-hour might be there, but the daily's not in line. It's not in line. Boom. Now the daily's back in line, but we still got the support. So we need a turncoat break at least before we get an entry in this trade on the 4-hour. What do you see now? So you see that the daily is not perfect, but we've got a lower high and we've got the turncoat entry there on the 4-hour because it broke this new white line here. It's a 4-hour support. So we're entering this trade here. Stop loss just above these highs here. Yeah. And we'll go for a 1-to-1 trade. Because remember, this isn't a daily breakout trade. We're not trying to make crazy money. We can go for 1-to-1. You can go for 1-to-2, 1-to-1.5, but we're just trying to keep it simple for a 1-to-1 R on these trades, yeah? Boom. Now, let's see what happens. Boom. You see? 1-to-1 hit already. I can't make this up, people, because I haven't even gone through these trades. I'm going through these trades with you. I'm literally, you know how I tell people to go back test, or anyone tells you, I am going through these trades with you, like on a live replay mode, basically with you. I'm not making this up. I haven't, usually I'll go through on the weekend or at night. So maybe by tonight, I would have just sat down, got my laptop and done this myself and then started putting, if you're in my VIP group, you'll see, I'll be like, oh, look at Euro USD. Look at it, but I'm actually doing it in a Zoom call with you now. Can you see? So people can see the flow of the multi-time frame table. Is this helping you guys and girls? What you can see right now, is this helping you understand the multi-time frame table better? Whoever's still in the Zoom with me. It's like everyone else is quiet. It's only Anton that's trying to get all this work right now. Anton's getting a free Zoom call, free one-on-one. Don't worry, brother. I know you invest, so I don't mind. So what do you think? Yeah, always check notice every pair I'm going to go through, the weekly column should have a higher low or lower high, and it'll be one bar. Yeah, literally. I think it's just me that's done this with the flash. I don't even think this is a coding error here. But yes, that's what you're saying. But when the week comes first, we're bullish and bearish, and then wait for the daily and the forward. Yeah, literally, Anton. That's literally it. Just to confirm, you're right. Let's go to the flash colors. I think it's me that's done that. Yeah, support and resistance. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. So no, it's not. Okay, support and resistance color. Support and resistance tail signal. Bearish, bullish. Okay, yeah, something's going on there. I'll double check that after anyway for the market structure table. Bullish green, bearish color. Right, yeah. So I'll double check this anyway. But I'll probably have to update it to make it better. So every time frame you can change colors or whatever you want to do, just like how the support and resistance is. So I'll do that just so this monthly one is not in the incorrect colors. But obviously you can see it says lower lows or higher lows, so you can obviously tell the colors just back to front for some weird reason. Coding's crazy. So yeah, anyway, now boom, you can see straight away. Yeah, boom. That's how that works. Let's go to the next trade. So GBP ORD it did do a sell. We've obviously got a sell here, but it didn't do the sell straight away. It started here. Let's just go to the weekly. Okay, let's do this as well. I think GBP ORD was even okay, yeah, boom. So if at any time, okay, now there you go. Obviously, it's got to refresh and do stuff like that. If at any time you're confused, I will always say this as well in here. When you're getting, this is very important, very important. So I'll know if people haven't watched the Zoom call, and that shows me people don't actually want to learn. Because if you do, you'll watch these Zoom calls because these Zoom calls are going to help you with something you've paid for. Do you understand? 'Cause I will know when I have to repeat myself. Pay attention to what I'm going to say here. It's obviously code. There's no type of coding that's going to be perfect in it. So if ever you're in doubt, I wouldn't even say even if you're in doubt, just double check this as well, just to make sure, because this is your money. So check, take 2 seconds to check. Whenever you see a pair's got one bar on the weekly, lower high or higher low, also go to the weekly time frame on that bar and then just check if the last bar was bullish or bearish. Simple. That's what it's going to do. That's what it's telling you. So the last bar on GBP order, let me get rid of all this yellow stuff just to not confuse you guys and girls. You can see the last week's candle was bearish. So obviously it's going to say one bar ago on the weekly. Yeah, literally. So any pair you're about to tag bullish or bearish at the start of the week on the Sunday market open, yeah, because you've got to wait for the new candle to open for the chart, the table to update. So it has to be Sunday market open. Yeah. Just go to the weekly quickly and be like, yep, it is bearish. Yes, the last candle was bullish. Simple. Do you understand? It just helps you just to make sure, because again, this is your money. So don't, even though I'm trying to help you, but I ain't the person that created TradingView. So you have to give me some slack. Listen, I'm trying, buddy. I didn't create TradingView. So if it has a little bug or something like that, I'm sorry. But it's your money. Just double check it and you should be fine. Okay? But boom. All right, then. So GBP ORD. Let's see when GBP ORD started. Yeah, boom. All right. Let's go here. Oh, GBP ordered. Let's see. You ready, guys and girls? Follow me through. So again, let's let this. The weekly is bearish. We are looking for the daily and the 4 hour to come into line. Let's see what happens. So the daily has been bearish for 5 days now, 5 bars ago. But we can see there's obviously a daily support there anyway. So it doesn't make sense. So we're still waiting. We're waiting for the turncoat entry on the 4 hour and the lower high, but let's just wait and see what happens. There was no turncoat entry, even though both of them went bearish. Nothing yet. Nothing. You can see it's come out of line on the daily now. We're waiting. You can see what happens though. Look at the power of the daily, people, and the 4 hour. This is what I noticed over the week, and that's when I said I've cracked the code of the multi-time frame structure. So I think if I do this is what I'm doing here. It's going to help you when we get the daily breakouts as well, because you're going to understand it better. Look at them now. So look now, because it went bullish. Look what price action is doing. And watch what it does. Yeah, boom. Okay. Now it went bearish, but remember the daily is still bullish, so it don't make sense. Daily still bullish, yeah? Cool. But look here, sorry. Let me take this back. Let me take this back here. Yes, sir. Just so you can see this better. Slowing it down a bit. Boom. The 4 hour is bearish, but the daily is still bullish. Yeah. Look here. Boom. All right, right here. Okay. So when the market closed and opened here, now you've had your sell entry here. You see, now we've got a good definition that price action is going to continue to go, because look at the difference in the table now, yeah, from the weekly. And now remember, you didn't even have to wait for that turncoat break, but the problem is that turncoat break didn't happen right here until, hold on a second, let's see. Just to show you here again, let's lower this down. Boom, go to the 1 hour. This is a bit slower. Cool. You see, you've got the perfect setup here for this. You've got a perfect setup right here for this. And I think it was even before then as well. Let's go here, because I think I was making it move too fast. So let's go here. See, okay, yeah, so now the daily didn't turn until then. Yeah, so that's fine. Boom. So here's where you would have been able to get your daily entry on this setup. And obviously towards the end of it, so you would have been able to enter here. But really and truly, you've only got two choices of a trade setup here. If you was to day trade this, let's go here. You'd have been able to enter this short position here and put your stop loss above here, but that's already a massive stop loss. You're going for a 1-to-1 R trade. Let's go for a 1-to-1. Yeah, pretty much there. Or you'd have to put it up here, which just becomes ridiculous because now you've got 200 pip stop loss. GBP order moves a lot of pips. So you don't obviously want to have a 200 pip stop loss on your trade. So this is the best you would have been able to have here if you're keeping price action above your last high, which is even a bit more. You'd have to do something like that. Boom. Yeah, but let's just see what happens when we fast forward all the way. I think this is the last part of it. Let's just see. So yeah, price action hasn't moved much. You're still technically in this trade now. So let's see what happens by the end of today. If price action actually hits take profit, we'll see it. But this is a rolling trade. Literally, this trade right now, if you're day trading, you could enter this trade now based on this 1-to-1 because it's back at entry. Do you understand? It's literally back at entry. Yeah, there's no difference. It's back at entry right now. So you could enter this trade for a possible setup. And now if you were to combine these things together with an FVG pullback, look, you had your FVG entry here. So if you was to merge little parts of the strategy from the daily breakout and looking for your 4-hour entry, you could technically have your stop loss above this 4-hour high here. And now you've got a better trade risk to reward ratio. You go down to these lows here, something like that. You understand? But just for the sake of the video, we're going to keep this one like this and see what happens. Boom, on that trade. Okay. So that's GBP order. It didn't really move too much. As you can see, the start of the week's low was here. Price action kind of went up. It just came back down. But it did sell. It did a midweek reversal sell. And it did sell based on the previous weekly trend that we've, structure trend that we've picked up. Now, this is gold, people. Yeah. Boom. Let's go into gold. Okay. I'm just trying to show you guys and girls how this thing works. So you can all see, and there's no if, buts, or maybes. So let's start from the beginning of the week. Boom. Pretty much here. Gold has told us it could sell this week. Look, the weekly is bearish by 1, the daily bearish by 1, the 4 hour, boom, we can see. But we need the daily and the 4 hour to kick into line. We need it to get in line first. So let's see what happens. Boom, boom, boom. So we need a 4 hour turncoat break because we've got daily support. That's what we need right now. No 4 hour turncoat break. Price does the same thing Euro CAD, Euro USD did. All it does. Notice how it's doing the same thing when it doesn't break that turncoat. These are all different pairs, people. I want you to pay attention. You understand? These are all things that will get you trapped. It's even what got me trapped. Notice how it does the same thing. When it doesn't give, when it's not in line, look for the turncoat sign. Do you understand? When it's not giving you that turncoat, look what happens. It goes the wrong way. It's going the wrong way. But it gives you the 4 hour buy entry. So you could have got that buy, a little bit of that buy. But look, obviously because of the weekly, it's holding more sells than buys. It's trying to trick you. So boom. Let's wait for the daily to get in line. Now we've got a daily lower high again. What we're waiting for is a 4 hour lower high, and we're waiting for the turncoat break on the 4 hour as well. Before we get in here. Boom. What do we have here? We have the 4 hour turncoat break, the daily in line as well. So now what we're trying to do here, guys and girls, we're trying to sell this pair. So we're trying to sell this. Let's go here. Boom. And we've also got a breakout on that gold candle. Notice it's all the same type of things. You've got the FVG breakout. If you have gold added to here, you would have been able to see gold breakout. You've got your daily in line and your 4 hour in line as well, yeah? Now, sorry, now you're getting your 4 hour more in, it's in line because obviously we've got the 4 hour and the turncoat break, but it's obviously it's not the perfect. It's not time to shine because it's not perfect yet. So here you got your 4, it even tells you where the high is there. Boom, there's the high. We're going for a 1-to-1 R, that's there, boom. Entering this trade. Yeah, boom. Remember, this is where we've entered. There you go. And we pretty much hit our 1-to-1 R right about there. Boom, we've definitely hit it now. Can you see, guys and girls? I don't know if I can make it. I'm not making this up. Can you see it? This is how many different trades I've picked up here and shown you. Is there anyone that's still in the chat with me? Can you see what I'm saying? This is how many different trades I've picked up here. This is like 4 or 5 different trades. Same exact thing. Same exact thing. No, there was no if, buts, or maybe. I remember these are trades that have not even broken the daily breakout. So that's what I'm saying. The ones that we already know the daily breakout was because we were just trading it alone before. So if you're getting this with a daily breakout, you should get more, you'll get more, shall I say, confidence and confluences of the trade. But this is a way where you could actually catch more trades like this. And this is what I've been trying to show people. It's how people caught GBP CHF last week. It's how people caught NAS 100 last week. The trades I was trying to explain to you. Because they all did this. When the buys came in for NAS 100, SPX, it wasn't US4, I think it was NAS 100 SPX. This is what happened. The table came into line. It hadn't even broken the daily moving average yet. But when the table kicked in, it was telling you, hey, this is going to go and break the daily moving average. So get ready. You understand? Anton, you're still with me. Does that make sense what you've seen so far? You see, even with gold, it did the same thing. Does it make sense? Cool. All right, let's move forward. I think Anton's had to take a power nap. It's just me, but I love this stuff, people. So I'm going to be here trying to teach you. It doesn't matter if I've got X amount of people in here. I'm going to teach you guys and girls, and hopefully it helps you out. So there you go. So that's gold, and obviously gold even kept selling as well. It sold some more gold, but yeah, boom. That's how you record a gold sell. Okay, US oil is a beautiful one. This is a fantastic sell. We're going to US oil. Just to show you different pairs. I'm just going to show you this one, and this will be the last one. Obviously, the other pairs I went over before already. But this is the same thing. We start at the beginning of the week. Look here, with the daily's not in line yet, so we can't trade this just yet. We have to wait. Yeah, or we've got a daily high or low here and a daily resistance. So what we would technically want is at least here, we want a 4-hour turncoat resistance and we want a 4-hour lower high. Let's see what we get. We haven't got that yet. We haven't got the turncoat yet. Boom. Now we've got the turncoat. Look, people. We've got the turncoat. The white line's right there. It shows you. So remember, technically, you can set pending orders on these things. Do you understand? You can literally set pending. It's literally showing you where the sell area is, the sell line. That's what these turncoats are helping you with. This is what I'm trying to teach you. I'm trying to give you guys game because turncoats, we were trading them from Neo on MT4 from 2023. That's what I'm trying to tell you. All of the stuff I've put in here is not something I just made in one day. It's not something I haven't traded before. It's not something I haven't given signals with. It's not something I haven't made profit from. That is what you're getting with Neo. You're getting something that has been trialed and tested and has the possibility of making you the money you need on a day-to-day basis, on a week-to-week basis, and a month-to-month basis. So here, boom, you've got your entry right there. You've got your breakout. Short position, you've entered here, because now we've got at least 3 of these columns right there. Boom, 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 boom. And the right ones we need. We put our stop loss above this high here. We're going for a 1-to-1 R trade, minimum. Boom, this is what we're going for. Just let it play out. Now you've even got a daily turncoat as well. So now this trade might even go further. So this is when you can start saying, hey, I'm going to push for 1-to-2 and see what happens here. But I can take partial profits at my 1-to-1. And there you go. That was your 1-to-2 trade on US oil. And really and truly, it went even further. It went 1-to-2.7. So it went, yeah, it was a 1-to-2. It was a 1-to-2.7 before you got a pullback. You see? And now look what happens when the daily came out of sync, all of this come out of sync. See how it's all coming together? And you can see how it's buying back up now, but you had at least a 1-to-2.7 trade there. So a 2.7 R trade. All like that, people. Very simple, guys and girls. So yeah, I'm going to pretty much leave the Zoom now. I think I have gone over it enough and for people to be able to go back and watch it. You know, it's very, very simple, guys and girls. You have to pay attention to the daily, pardon me, and the 4-hour time frame once you've established the weekly time frame and what you're seeing here, basically. So this is what you have to do. So once the weekly has got a weekly structure that can continue its weekly trend, if the daily and the 4-hour kick into line, then you've got time to go. Literally, that's what it is. It's time to go on this trade because there's a probability that it can work. Now, obviously, like anything, not every single trade is going to work, but if more win than loses, you're in the winner's spot right there, people. And this is how I'm trading now. I'm just trading the same thing I explained on this table when I also, on the daily time frame, get 2 columns, either a bullish color or bearish color. Because if it's doing it before we've got a daily breakout, there should be even a bigger chance of it doing it once we do get an EMA break. And I know anyone that's traded for long enough know that when price action breaks EMAs, it can continue. So if you're getting all of this together, you're getting a winning formula. And that's where I'll leave it, guys and girls. So like I said, if you want to hit me up and get these products, let me know. If you want to get into any of the services, let me know. Don't run away. This thing here, it can change your life. If you're not a profitable trader, I can pretty much say you will become a profitable trader within 3 months of trading this. I have no problem saying that. Literally, I can't imagine why you wouldn't with the amount of support I give you. The only thing that I think will be an issue for any trader is if they don't actually, they don't literally pay attention to what I'm saying. So if you're not putting the work in, you're not going to become profitable. I'm still 6 years almost into this game now, I believe. So is it 6 years? Yeah, it's about 5.5 years into this game now. And I'm still up at nights, checking the charts, putting stuff together, doing all this stuff. Do you understand? And the proof is in my group. If I'm lying, go and check my VIP group when you join. Join for 1 month. Check my VIP group and check how many times I've messaged just in the VIP group there alone. And that's one group. You can get into my free group, sorry, and check how many times I've posted. You can go into my Discord. The links will all be in the description. And you can check how many times EZ Forex or Big John has posted. We're talking years and years. At one point I checked, and I think I had about 20,000 posts from when I had my Discord from the beginning. It was ridiculous. It's like 20 or 30,000 posts. And that's from signals to talking to teaching to even just normal banter. So normal just chatting in a group. I've always had posts. So you're never getting something that you wouldn't be a part of a community, especially from the mentor all the way down to the students in the group. So yeah, I'll leave it there, guys and girls. Hit me up if you need me. You can get lifetime access for Neo, or you can pay for monthly. Lifetime access is always best because therefore, anytime I update it and all these things, you're not going to pay for individual updates if you're monthly. No, that doesn't happen with this Neo. It's not going to happen. But obviously, it's just better for you if you've got lifetime access because you pay one and done, and you're just literally following the whole process all the way through. And a lot of people that do that, they just feel better with themselves. All right, cool people. Take care, and I'll speak to you and see you later.